Hello and welcome to today's video about using negative numbers. First, let's talk about some vocabulary that you will need to know and understand for today's video. Negative numbers. These are numbers less than 0, the opposites of positive numbers, commonly written as a positive number preceded by a negative sign or OPP. Negative numbers are plotted left of 0 on a horizontal number line or below 0 on a vertical number line. Now, let's spend some time looking at how negative numbers are related to positive numbers when plotted on a number line. In the green text, you can see a list of different events that happened during a race. I am going to label each event with its letter on the number line below. The first event is letter A, and it says, check in 5 minutes late before the race starts. Where would this number be plotted on the number line? Since I'm talking about being behind schedule, I will have to plot this number at -5, or here. Letter B down below letter A says, change gears 30 seconds after the race starts. The race starts at 0, and 30 seconds after 0 would be plotted here. Next, let's look at letter C. It says, get on the bicycle 30 seconds before the race starts. As I just stated, the race starts at 0, so 30 seconds before 0 is a negative number. That would be plotted here. Letter D reads, the winner finishes at 6 minutes 45 seconds. 6 minutes and 45 seconds is almost 7 minutes even, so letter D will be plotted here. Letter E reads, complete the first lap 3 minutes 15 seconds after the race starts. After the race starts is a positive number, so 3 minutes and 15 seconds would be plotted here. Finally, letter F reads, check the tires 7 minutes before the race starts. As I stated previously, any number that happens before the race starts is a negative number. So 7 minutes before the race starts would be plotted here. This is what it looks like after all 6 of these points have been plotted on a number line. This makes it easier to compare numbers, which we will look at on the next slide. Now, let's talk about comparing and ordering positive and negative numbers. We will be using a number line to help us begin this activity. Here are 6 sets of numbers that include both positives and negatives. The important thing to remember when comparing positive and negative numbers is that the further left you get on the number line, the smaller the number gets. It may appear that the numbers are getting bigger as you go to the left. They are not. Numbers that are large or that appear large in quantity, that are negative numbers, are much smaller than smaller looking negative numbers. For example, -1 is a bigger number than -10. If you think about it in terms of having a checking account as you did at Young Ameritown, you will remember that although it's not ever good to be negative in a bank account, it's not as bad to be -$1 in your bank account as it is to be -$50 in your bank account. Now let's start comparing these sets of numbers. The first set we're going to look at is -6 and 6. These two numbers are extremely easy to compare because negative numbers are always smaller than positive numbers. So, in this case, +6 is greater than -6. The next set of numbers we are going to look at is 15 and 7. This one is also an easy one because they're both positive numbers, and if you know anything about positive numbers, as they go to the right on the number line, they get bigger. So, 15 is greater than 7. Our third set of numbers is 9 and -9. As I talked about up here with this first problem, Any negative number is always smaller than a positive number, making positive 9 greater than negative 9. Our fourth set of numbers is negative 15 and negative 8. Just a moment ago, I talked about having negative money in a bank account. In this case, the number that appears to be smaller, or the 8, the negative 8, is greater than negative 15 because it's closer to 0 on the number line. Our fifth set of numbers is negative 11 and 0. We have talked a few times before about the idea that positive numbers are greater than negative numbers. However, 0 is neither a negative number or a positive number. But since it's 0, it is greater than 11 because it's closer to itself than 11 is. Finally, our last set of numbers is 0 and negative 5.5. Just as in the fifth problem above, when comparing 0 to a negative number, 0 is always going to be more. So, again, 0 is greater than negative 5.5. Here is your practice problem of the day. First, compare these two sets of numbers to each other. You are comparing negative 7 to positive 4 and negative 3 5/10 to negative 4 5/10. Insert a greater than, less than, or equal to symbol to compare these two sets of numbers. Finally, list these numbers in order from least to greatest. Put the smallest number all the way on the left and write them in order all the way to the right until you get up to the greatest number. Good luck!